Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Now of the Land. I'm Rolene Marks, your host, and let's take a look at today's top stories. Last week, President Trump unveiled his much-anticipated Trump peace plan with Israel's Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu by his side. And while the plan has been warmly welcomed by Israel, several European countries, and many Arab countries that include Oman, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Egypt, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and various others, it hasn't been received well by the Palestinians, Iran, Yemen, and Turkey. A lot of other countries have chosen to stay rather ambivalent or neutral. However, this past weekend, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas threatened to cut all ties between the Palestinians and Israel, as well as the United States. As expected, there has been a significant uptick in violence, with riots breaking out in the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and parts of East Jerusalem. However, we have seen an increase in the amount of explosive balloons that have been fired from Gaza into Israel, as well as several mortar and rocket attacks over the weekend. Code Red Alert sent people in the south running to shelters, and a mother and her 3-month-old baby girl were injured when she slipped en route to the shelter. Thank goodness they are both now in stable condition. But the Israeli Defense Forces, in anticipation of an increase in violence, have rolled out more Iron Dome batteries in the south. And we are cautioning our people in the south to be very, very careful of these explosive balloons, as terror cells within the Gaza Strip are now wrapping the explosives in children's toys and presents. And while we are talking events around the world, something also very significant has happened today. The details haven't been released by the IDF Center, but Prime Minister Netanyahu is, as we speak, in the African state of Uganda. The Prime Minister arrived into Entebbe with much fanfare, a lot of dancing, a red carpet rolled out him, and he's expected to return later today with a very, very important and significant announcement. Now, while we don't have the details, we are anticipating that the Prime Minister could be announcing formal bilateral ties or a significant warming of ties between Israel and Uganda. And this marks the 5th trip to Africa for Israel's Prime Minister. And I couldn't help but think about what he must have been feeling today as he landed in Entebbe. We all can't forget the infamous operation, the raid on Entebbe, where Israeli commandos jetted in under extreme secrecy and managed to rescue Jewish or Israeli hostages that were being held hostage aboard an aircraft. And tragically, this led to the death of Prime Minister Netanyahu's brother, the much admired, much lauded soldier Yonatan, or Yoni Netanyahu. So I would imagine it was probably quite emotional for the Prime Minister in Uganda today. So we look forward to bringing you the results of this trip on the Israel Brief tomorrow. But good news for rock aficionados or rock fans in Israel, myself included. We are expecting the Red Hot Chilli Peppers to play Tel Aviv on the 10th of June. Everybody who's anybody knows that no place is rocking as much as Tel Aviv is in the summer, and the party's getting off to a cracking start with the Red Hot Chilli Peppers, who were last here in 2012, and after playing a 2-hour set, said this is an experience they will never forget for the rest of their lives. So today's epic BDS fail is brought to you by the Red Hot Chilli Peppers, and tickets go on sale in about an hour's time. Those are the top stories making headlines in Israel today, but we encourage you to read more on our website at www.layoftheland.online. You can read Stephen Schulman's response to Israel and several other countries being called nasty little states by Professor Jane Duncan of the University of Johannesburg. It's up on our website. It's also up on our Facebook page. So while you're there, like us, follow us, share our content, maybe put a comment or two, and don't forget that you play an important role in helping to get Israel's story out to the masses. You can do that by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Israel Brief by simply clicking on the subscribe button. So that's it for the first of the Israel Briefs for this week. I'm Rolene Marks, and I'll chat to you again tomorrow.